If you've watched my recent videos, you've seen this Tyrant 180. Because of the thick plate on the bottom and the thick arms, this thing is near impossible to break. At least it has been for me. Well, the next quad I've been working on is the QAVR clone. This is a TCR 260, and this is actually flyable now. I just did a video about these DYS SC2205 motors and the XM20 amp ESCs. And this is actually flyable, but there's no FPV gear in it yet. But there will be. Anyway, the thing about these quads, both of these quads, is that I had to build both of them. This one came as a frame and a power distribution board, and had to put the motors and ESCs on it. This one was complete parts and had to build the whole thing. Well, today we're going to be looking at a ready-to-fly kit. This is a Redcon Phoenix 210, and this comes all assembled. The only thing you have to add is your own receiver and your own battery, and you'll be ready to fly. An ARF, Almost-Ready-to-Fly version. And this is the red one. This actually came from GearBest. Let me get the box out and we'll take a look at it. So here's the box that the Phoenix 210 comes in, and it looks like this. Not much to it, just a black box. But when you open it up, it's amazing because look at that. It's already finished. It's already built. Amazing. Let's see. It also comes with the antenna in here, so you can plug it into your FPV transmitter. It also comes with a set of propellers. Only one set, so don't get crazy and break them right away. And it also comes with an extra set of wires, and I think these are for the flight board, so you can plug into your transmitter. But it comes with the camera up here in the front, and it still has some tape on there. It comes with the cables that are all connected into here. It looks like the camera might actually be upside down, but we'll see. And the power cord plugs in right here and has a location here for a battery strap. It doesn't come with a battery strap, you know, but who cares? A lot of people are giving those away now to promote their brands. The bottom looks kind of cool. It has the motor wires that all ran underneath the frame. And the nice thing is you won't actually land on the wires because the landing gear stick out a little bit, so you'll be landing on those. And also I believe this has LED lights inside the landing gear as well. And it looks like it's using let's see what they are, 2204 motors, and they're 2300 kV. And they look kind of cool. They spin nice. That's good. So these are the papers that are included with it. And I say papers because there aren't any instructions. Basically, this just shows you all the different colors that they sell. And then the second page has a list of all the different specifications of the quadcopter itself. So, you know, there it is. There's no instructions. So you have to just kind of know what you're doing a little bit, and that's why they give you these, so you can figure it out, I guess. But you have to know a little bit about what you're doing if you're going to put a receiver in. Now for this one, I got one of these naked X4 RSBs, and it's naked because there's no pins on it. And then I also have one of these FreeSky battery voltage sensors. That way I can get the voltage back down to my Tyrannus. And if you want to ask me how to install this into a X4 RSB, I'll just redirect you to another video that I have where I already explained it. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this thing taken apart and get this thing loaded in there, and we'll see how this goes. There were 6 screws holding this down. 2 back here, 2 up here, and then 2 up on the sides. And let's see if this comes up easily. Yes, it does. And there are the wires for the camera holding it down and the video transmitter. Whoa, look at that. The video transmitter is up in the front with the extension cable that goes back to the back. So let's see if I can get this thing off of here. At least enough I can work in here. Oh yeah, there we go. So looks like there's plenty of room. Let me get this a little closer. Looks like there's plenty of room back here in the back for the video, the transmitter to sit in here. So now it's a matter of figuring out what kind of software is on this CC3D, and then getting the the receiver hooked up to it. Looks like all the ESCs are plugged in right here because there's 4 wires going in there plus a ground. Maybe that's power. Nope, that's going out to the light. So it has the light back here, which is actually controlled by the CC3D. Kind of forgot about that. Cool. All right, well, let me see if I can figure out how to hook this thing up, and then we'll get it flying. I took the included CC3D wire, and I took the brown one, the red one, and the white one, and soldered them on to the first pins on the X4 RSB. And that's where they should go, and this is going to be for S-Bus. Now I left the yellow one on just in case I was wrong on the pin layout, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So anyway, I'm gonna hook those up there, and then this part, this end of the cable plugs into this piece right here, and then I'm gonna try to wrap this thing in shrink wrap and stick it back here in the back so it doesn't short out onto anything. So here I have the receiver plugged in, and I'm gonna go ahead and power this on. I'm just using a 3-cell battery for now.
Telemetry
oh good,
recovered.
It works. And my receiver's bound to my transmitter. I got the green light. The rear arms are red and the front arms are green. I guess it's supposed to be more for like headlights and brake lights rather than, you know, red on the left and green on the right for airplanes. But this isn't an airplane. I connected the computer to the quadcopter using a USB cable, and it is running a version of OpenPilot or Libre Pilot. This is actually Libre Pilot. So I'm gonna try to go in here and I'm gonna go through some of the setups on this. The vehicle setup wizard is really what I'm going to do first, and it's right up here on this screen. So I go to vehicle setup wizard, and I'm going to go through these steps, and hopefully when I'm done this thing will actually work. So that's the end of the vehicle setup wizard. Next it's time to go into this transmitter setup wizard. And I have my transmitter turned on now and it's bound to the receiver. So we'll go through these steps. And that's the end of the setup on the transmitter. So I did do it right. It's the fourth wire on the receiver. That fourth wire coming into here. Not this yellow one that they have, it's the fourth one. So the first one is ground and positive, and then the yellow wire you skip, and then the fourth wire is the signal wire. Back in here on the stabilization tab, I like to take this rate mode and crank it up here to about 610, and that way I can do pretty quick flips. It's just the middle one here. And for now, I'm just gonna leave the rest of them the way they are. There's two other things in Libre Pilot I almost forgot to mention. Over here on the left on attitude, you wanna come up here, over here to this side, and on the yaw, you wanna put in -90. And the reason you do that is because the board has been turned. So inside there, and so you wanna make sure you switch that around. And the other thing you wanna change is over here on the input button. I'm gonna come up here to arm settings and set this to yaw right. And that way when you yaw to the right, it will arm your quadcopter. The next thing I need to do is hook up this FPV SO1. And there are some solder pads right here, down here, and right there, the positive and negative. And these are reading full voltage off of the battery. So if you plug into here, your FPV SO1 is gonna read full voltage, and it's these two down here at the bottom. So I'm going to take this FPV SO1 and cut the wires off, solder it into here, and the other side we'll solder on the connector that goes into the X4R SB right there. So I have the FPV SO1 installed now, and the wires here that are connected to, let's say 3S and ground, they come back here and they're soldered onto these two pads right down here, the positive and the negative over here. And on this side, it has the little connector that goes and plugs into the X4R, and I plugged in the white and the ground, and that the white is the A2 and the ground is the ground. And now it's just a matter of plugging these in and trying to squeeze it back inside this frame. I have the battery voltage sensor and the receiver connected together, so I'm going to try to figure out how to lay these down in here, and then I'm going to run the wires for the antenna out the top through these two little slots right there at the base of the antenna. It was a little tight getting it all back in, but I ended up taking this antenna wire and I turned it just a little bit so it came out at an angle like this, and I was able to put the receiver over here on this side. But it came out okay, and I didn't have to pinch any wires to get it in there. The only problem I had was the antenna extension was coming along here and kept wanting to get caught inside here above these screw holes here, but I pushed it over with this little Allen wrench and it got out of the way. And also got the battery strap in place too, so it should be ready to try a little bit of line of sight flying. We'll see what happens. One thing I didn't realize about this quadcopter until just now is that this actually has clockwise and counterclockwise motors. The only problem is that they're backward. Now, an easy way to remember which way it's supposed to turn is on this nut here should turn to the left and go up. So if I turn to the left, it should come off of the shaft, and I'm following the direction of the propeller. So I turn left and it should come up. Well, however, the problem is I turn it to the right and it comes off. So this motor is actually the wrong one for back here. So these two motors need to be swapped with these two motors, and then it would be correct. Now you can always tell, because if you start testing your motors when you're doing the directional testing, if you can grab onto the nut and it zips off inside your hand, it's spinning the wrong direction. And and when I was testing this back one here zipped off and I had to go find it. Oh well, maybe I'll switch those around later, but the only problem with that is it's so clean down here right now, and you shouldn't really have to do that, and I'm not sure how you'd actually swap out the motor. But maybe I'll look at it later and see if I can figure out some way to pull it off and switch it around. But for now, I'm just not going to crash, and I'm going to make sure these nuts are tight, and it should be okay. The Phoenix 210, we're going to try this Maiden Flight. Hopefully it doesn't go zipping all over, and I actually got all the settings correct. I'm using a 4S Bonka battery, so we'll see how this does. Let me go ahead and plug it in.
Telemetry recovered.
And hopefully it takes off. Oh yeah, okay. And the propellers are all spinning the correct direction. Oh yes. And this is pretty much on the stock settings. The only thing I did was increase the sensitivity on the sticks. I could have a little less P on this. I might have to get some tuning done on this and then make another video. Okay, I'm gonna try to zip it up in the air. We'll see how the acceleration is on this. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's really nice. Oh, and those LED lights are actually pretty helpful right now. You can see them real easy on the bottom of the arms. We'll try to do some little speed runs down the road here, see how it goes. Woo! It needs some tuning, but it's doing fine. For $135. Sorry, am I messing you up?
2 minutes.
Whoops. It's okay. I have permission to fly in his yard. It's still flying okay. You can see the lights on it real easy though. Those clear landing gear really illuminate them a lot. The Phoenix 210, so far pretty good. Next thing I'm gonna do is test the FPV camera and see if it's really upside down like I think it is. Well, I guessed correctly. Here's the picture. Oh look, it's right side up. Oh wait a minute. No, it's not. There we go. So now if I point this at me, here, well, see if we can do it two at the same time. There we go, look, the camera is installed upside down. Switching the camera around was not a big deal at all. It was just take the top plate off, and the mount that it's actually mounted to is the same on both the top and bottom. So I just took it off, spun it around, put it back in, put the 4 screws back in, and it's ready to go. And now I'm holding it right side up, and here we go. There we go. Getting the right side up picture now. So that's a good sign. Anyway, I might try some FPV with this and see what.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes. close tonight.
Phoenix 210 from GearBest. Overall, I kind of like this quad. I think it's pretty fun that it came fully assembled, almost ready to fly, except for the receiver. The only thing that's kind of disappointing is that my motors were on backward. You know, okay. The camera was upside down, but that was no big deal. Take out the 4 screws, flip it over, put the 4 screws back in. That was a very easy fix. The motors, I think, will be a little bit more complicated because they have a lot of real clean wiring, and if you start messing with it, you're gonna have to make it all look nice again, or you just fly it as it is, and when the prop nuts go zipping off, get some lock nuts and put on there, and it'd probably be fine. The you know, they've been flying all clockwise motors for years, and you know, people lose prop nuts all the time, but with the lock nuts they don't get lost quite as often. You will have to find 2 clockwise and 2 counterclockwise to go on these. But anyway, the 210 Phoenix 210 from GearBest. I think this is a pretty cool quad, and if you're looking for just an easy quad to get in the air, this isn't really that bad of an option if you already have a transmitter. Anyway, have any questions about this, leave me in the comments, and I'll try to help you out as best I can. And as always, thanks for watching.